Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles now. It is game week as the Eagles are heading down to Atlanta right now. Let me ask you guys this question before we start today's video. Will the Eagles cover the 3.5 points versus Atlanta? Right now, according to the betting odds, the friends at BetUS, the Falcons are 3.5 point favorites at home when Philadelphia comes to town. I think this is ridiculous. I think Philadelphia is 100% going to cover. If you would agree, at least cover. I think they went outright. But you think they're going to cover? Go down below, type wide and below for yes. Think that they won't cover, which I guess means you're taking the Falcons in the first game, which... Man, you haven't watched this channel, they're going to blow out the Falcons. I'll tell you why a little bit later on this video, but say no if you don't think they're going to cover. I think they will. I would type why. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. All right, let's jump into the latest Eagles news and rumors here on a Monday. We mentioned it in the beginning. This Dallas Goedert trade news, and really trade rumors is a better way to put it, very strange to me, and it comes at a very odd time as we are less than 7 days away from the start of the Eagles' NFL season. So this report comes out that the Eagles did try to explore a trade with Dallas Goedert a couple of weeks back to the Minnesota Vikings. If you, according to Matt Lombardo, it's my Vikings and also the Jets as well. And so Lombardo has this whole article, which I'll read you part of it here in just a second, saying that they tried to trade him for a couple of weeks there. Teams were close, including the Jets and the Vikings, and then in the end, they went ahead and kept Dallas Goedert. So I think they're going to keep him. So obviously, we're less than a week away. But with Zach Ertz's recent press conference just a couple of days ago indicating he will play in Philadelphia this year, I guess that means Philadelphia was looking to potentially get rid of Goedert before having to pay him. But this whole thing is very strange to me. Let's go ahead and go up to the Michael Lombardo or the Matt Lombardo a story here on Goedert. We'll throw it up on the screen. Quote, Eagles tight end Zach Ertz has been the subject of persistent trade rumors throughout the offseason, but as roster cuts have been made and another offseason milepost is in the rear view, it seems increasingly likely Ertz will return to the city of brotherly love for his 9th NFL season. But don't be surprised if Eagles general manager Howie Roseman winds up moving one of Philadelphia's other tight ends, Dallas Goedert. He went on to say, trading Goedert, the number 49 overall pick of the 2018 NFL Draft, and a favorite of former Eagles head coach Doug Peterson, would signify a complete exorcism of the franchise's only Super Bowl winning coach's influence. According to multiple league sources, Roseman discussed moving Goedert in a trade with the Vikings before Minnesota moved over to acquire Chris Hendon in a deal with the Jets, end quote. Again, they tried to move him, and when we say try to move him, to me it more sounds like they made a phone call just to see if the Vikings would be willing to overpay for Dallas Goedert. I think this probably came after they for sure confirmed that Zach Ertz was going to go ahead and stay in Philadelphia. But I wouldn't sit back and think that, okay, they're going to go ahead and keep trying to trade Dallas Goedert. I think they're very happy with Dallas Goedert, and they consider him probably the best tight end on this roster. And I think that this is something to look forward in the past and go, okay, they're not going to get rid of him. He's going to stay in Philadelphia for at least one more year. The big reason right now that you would even consider trading Dallas Goedert is you are having to pay him pretty soon as he's coming up at the end of his rookie deal and be wanting, some big tight end money. $13 million a year, $14 million a year, $15 million a year. But my thought process is, Ertz's final year, right? You play the two of them together this year, and then you give Goedert the extension. You bring him back because he's obviously younger, and to me has a lot higher upside than the 30-plus-year-old Zach Ertz, and then let Zach Ertz go either retire or possibly find one final contract if you can get another team to go ahead and pay him. So I wouldn't panic here. This did jump out at me as news for the weekend. You kind of go, okay, we have to acknowledge that he did at least look around to shopping Dallas Goedert, but at this point, I'd be shocked if they trade him. It seems he's to be an Eagle at least for this year, and hopefully further afterwards, because they've talked about an extension inside the Eagles organization as well. Again, answer the question down below. Would you trade Dallas Goedert? Type T down below for trade. If you would keep him, go ahead and type K down below for keep. We're going to get into our next story here. Sure to subscribe to Philadelphia Eagles now. We, of course, have plenty of great videos upcoming, including leading up to the start of the season, Week 1, Sunday in Atlanta. I'm pumped for that one. We're talking about that coming up in just a second. First, though, again, go down below, help us grow, and subscribe by hitting that red subscribe button. Okay, we're going to get a quick update on the Atlanta Falcons. I know we're in an Eagle video here, but this Falcons news injury update dramatically is going to impact how well Philadelphia can potentially rush the passer in their Week 1 matchup down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So the report comes out of Atlanta that last week the guard, who apparently was going to start for the Atlanta Falcons, Josh Andrews, broke his hand and was placed on short-term IR, leaving Atlanta. They haven't officially announced it yet, but it looks like they're going to start rookie guard Jalen Mayfield at left guard, and what is already considered a pretty bad offensive line. They start a new center in Matt Hennessy. He's young. They obviously have Lindstrom and McGarry on the right side of the offensive line, very iffy there. And then the one, I guess, good lineman is Jake Matthews, the left tackle. So left guard spot is going to be very much open for the picking along this Eagle defensive line. Arthur Smith was asked about Jalen Mayfield having to play against Fletcher Cox, which of course is a massive matchup, and Smith has a good quote here. We'll throw it up on your screen. Quote, everybody's got to get baptized at some point. Not a lot of confidence there in his rookie left guard. But he's right. Listen, the Eagles' defensive line will eat on Sunday. They're going to have 4+ sacks. I mean, I think you get up to high 6 or 7 sacks. This Falcon offensive line, to me, is absolutely terrible. It's going to be one of the bottom half Falcon offensive lines that we've seen, really, for half the league this year in 2021. The Eagles' D line, I said before, is a top 5 defensive line in the National Football League. If they do not get after the quarterback and rush the passer and sack a very non-mobile quarterback in Matt Ryan on Sunday, it's going to be a long day because I think the secondary can be exposed a little bit, especially with Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts. But this Eagle defensive line has too many studs and too many guys who deserve double teams. Like, how do you double Fletcher Cox and then leave, I guess, not Josh Andrews now because he's out, but then you leave Jalen Mayfield one-on-one with Javon Hargrave. I don't know how that works out. Plus, you have Ryan Kerrigan mixing back into the mix here. Obviously, Josh Sweat probably starting, Derek Barnett. I think this Falcons offensive line is going to be absolutely obliterated by the Eagle defensive line, and it's been compounded by the fact that rookie is starting at left guard in Jalen Mayfield. I think you get at least 4 sacks on Sunday. I'm curious how many sacks you think Philadelphia will have on Sunday. It might be high as 5, 6, or 7. It could be a lot. Atlanta has struggled in their openers. They've lost 3 or 4 of their last 5. I think Philadelphia's defensive line is going to do really, really well. Give me your prediction for how many sacks Philadelphia will have on Sunday. Let me know down below in the comment section. Okay, speaking of that game, again, we're going to get a full preview a little bit later on in this week, but as we currently stand, this is a very intriguing matchup. You obviously have 2 rookie head coaches. You have 2, I would say, rosters that were not great last year that did improve, but I think you go look at the trenches. You go Eagle defensive line versus Falcons O-line, Eagles O-line versus Falcons pretty bad defensive line, and that's why I think Philadelphia's going to have a pretty, not easy day, but a winnable game on Sunday whenever they travel down to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. As it currently stands, the Falcons are 3.5-point favorites in this game, which is kind of surprising. The over-under sits at 48. Let me ask you this. Will the Eagles cover the -3.5, I guess, plus 3.5 for Philadelphia with the points in Atlanta? Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. I think they're going to cover for sure. I think they're going to win outright, honestly. I mean, 3.5 points, give that to Philly is going to be, to me, an easy bet to go ahead and win some money on. If you are saying yes, do you think the Eagles will cover, put your money where your mouth is with our friends at BetUS and their crazy 125% deposit bonus whenever you use our promo code EAGLES125. So you got to do chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Use that promo code EAGLES125 and get a 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. It's game week, right? You got to get your bets in now. Do it with their friends at Chat Sports because essentially you can turn, you put $100 down, use our promo code EAGLES125, turns into $225 to bet on the Eagles to cover. I think the Eagles are going to win outright, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Okay, final story here today. It's a quick one, but it's fun and worth noting that Tony Romo, the former Dallas Cowboy and now CBS broadcaster, is very much in on the Eagles. One of the few national media pundits who actually has taken the Eagles to win double-digit games. A quote from Romo in just a couple of seconds here, where Romo essentially says the Eagles are going to surprise a lot of people, and he has them actually winning the NFC East, which is crazy that he would take us over his former, obviously, team in the Dallas Cowboys. He's predicting Philly to win 10 to 11 games. Like that's not the ceiling. That's his predictions. They're going to win 10 to 11 games. And of course, as we mentioned, you get us started with a win week 1 here in Atlanta. Let's throw up the quote here from Tony Romo. Quote, I think the Eagles are going to be a surprise team. If you go in and think they're not really ready, they could shock a lot of people and go 10-6 or 11-5 very quickly. It's an uphill battle right now, but I think they have a lot of talented players and coaching staff is good. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Eagles have a great season this year. Thank you, Tony. Tony Romo gets it. Tony Romo has looked past all of the national media smoke here and the Nick Sirianni and the Jalen Hurts drama, and they actually look at the roster and they go, oh, Tony said, wow, look, a top 3 defensive line. Oh, wow, look, a top 5 offensive line. Oh, they're better at receiver. The running back group, to me, is one of the better stable of running backs you see in the NFC. There are a lot of positives on this Eagles team, and Tony Romo finally gets that. Again, look at any other national media pundit. Right now, I mean, Vegas has the Eagles at, 5.5 wins in terms of their win-loss total. A lot of people on ESPN and Fox Sports and CBS Sports are all saying the Eagles are going to be the 4th best team in a division that has a ton of question marks. I mean, Dallas has injury issues. They're probably going to get waxed by Tampa on Thursday night. The Washington football team has a good defense, but they have, to me, a very bad offense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick has proven to be not a very good winning quarterback. He's been flashy at times. And then, of course, Daniel Jones. What exactly is Daniel Jones? And does the Giants secondary have any sort of stopping power against the power that is in the NFC East from a wide receiver standpoint? I think all the answers to that come down and say that Philadelphia is going to be not a favorite in the division, but a chance to, like Romo said, surprise some people and get to 10 or 11 wins. How weird is it that Tony Romo, though, is hyping up the Birds? Like this is, type W down below, this is kind of weird. Type C down below if this is cool. I have no problem with it. I know he's an ex-Cowboy, but he's technically an unbiased broadcaster. Does more AFC games than NFC games, so I have no worry with it, but if you think it's weird, let me know down below in the comments section. All right, ultimate for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Again, want to jump on a Monday on a Labor Day and make sure you guys are up to date on everything happening with Philadelphia. The whole Dallas Goedert stuff to me, a lot of smoke. I don't think they're going to trade him. I would move on from that. I do think Philadelphia's D-line, as I said, is going to absolutely feast on Atlanta. And it's fun to see Tony Romo, somebody, give the Eagles a little bit of national hype going into the season when no one else seems to be doing that. Besides myself, of course, here, as you guys know, on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel by going down below and hitting that red button. We're trying to grow as fast as possible. Can we get to 25K? By the end of the season, we need your help. If you are new and like the videos, go down below and hit that red subscribe button. Again, all done for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I am your host, Thomas Mott. As we sign off, we are so close to game day. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. Enjoy the rest of your week.